Okay, I'm live here. Um, that was weird. That was so weird. Uh, okay. All right. One second, me. Hi there. All right, we'll get started in just a moment. I'm just gonna try and contact a few people that I just started a new live stream. Hi, Sharon. Oh, good. You found me in this one. I got a message that they detected copyrighted audio or video, and I have no idea why that is at all. All right, let me just tell one more person that I know was tuning in there that I've just started a different live stream. Sweet. All right. Well, thank you for thank you for following, Sharon. Um, okay, yeah, that was weird. I have no idea why that happened. I was not playing music or anything, so yeah, I I have no idea what just happened there. I know I have contact info for one more person that was on that last stream. Um, yeah. Okay. Hopefully we will all find each other. Okay, that was bizarre. Um, yeah, I have no idea why they just stopped letting us stream. Okay. Goodness. All right, let's do this again. All right, so we're standing. We have our feet under our hips. Your arms are what do we do? We put our hands on our head. And just to get nice and tall for a second there. All right, is that okay? Great. Rebecca's here too. All right, I think we may have had a couple other people, but yeah, not sure who they were. Hopefully they'll find us. Not everyone signs on for I think a YouTube account, so their names don't show up if I no way of knowing who they are. Warm up for our feet. So what that looks like is I'm just lifting a heel, popping up onto the toes, back to the ball of the foot, and heel down. Just gonna do that alternating sides. A heel to the toes, press, and down. So really try and feel a stretch in the bottom of the foot, like really crease into the toes. So that's often a place where our body could really use some stretch and work. Once our feet have been stuck in shoes so much, or as in this time, maybe we're just not on our feet as much as we normally are. So they're kind of getting underworked in that way. Okay, now we're going to lift both heels at the same time. And if that is like, whoa, super wobbly for you, feel free to, have your hand on a wall or maybe on a chair, anything like that. So we're just gonna lift and lower the heels. You can try and come really high on the tippy toes if you want, or just a little lift. We're just reminding our feet of what they're capable of. Okay. And then let's lift our heels, try and stay on the balls of the feet. And if that means a little like what, little walk in place, little side to side, totally fine. Kind of let your weight shift a bit. Okay, and then just let the heels come down. All right, we still got a little space between the feet, toes pointing straight forwards. Okay, and now just a bend and a squeeze of the knees. So on the straightening, I want you to think of really upward energy to that straightening as opposed to the knees jamming back. Yeah. So, and I also want you to try not to let your butt go back, but just exactly where it's placed when the legs are straight. Try and keep them right there. Because we're focusing on the ankles. Yes, when we chair sit, we gotta really send those hips back. Also a great exercise, great thing to do. But here we're keeping it in those ankles. Okay, so as if you are sliding up and down a wall. And again, if you actually have a wall, you might stand against that wall and, actually, feel what that's like to have to keep the hips, the shoulders against that wall. Okay, let me see what my viewing numbers are at. Oh, we're back up to 4. All right, wonderful. Okay, so let's move from, not getting the hips involved, really keeping it in the knees and the ankles, to now let's actually drop those hips bones down and back. And maybe you bring the arms up, maybe you just let them stay on your hips. Yeah, so now we're really, letting our hips go back and our chest forwards. Not like a dumping forwards, but chest is coming forward just enough to counterbalance the going back of the hips. Let's do that one more time. And up. Okay, great. All right, so we're going to step our feet a little wider apart. And so check if you have room to really twist and swing the arms, you can do that. If you're sort of, a little more consigned, you don't have as much space. I'm not even sure what word I'm trying to use there. Maybe just keep, the arms closer in or on your hips. Yeah? All right, so we're just gonna twist side to side. Ultimately, whatever feels good with the arms that you have space for. And the speed of this twist is up to you. And you might start to take your weight onto one foot at a time. So you kind of go more completely onto the foot you are twisting towards. Let's go one more each side. Twist. Good. All right, and let's take those feet. Again, nice and wide. And the toes can be a little turned out if that feels good to you. Okay, and let's take our arms out and a side bend over to our right. So that right arm's gonna come under and the left arm over. And lift up out of that side bend. Let's go to the other side. And come up. We're going to do that one more time each side. If you want to bend your knees a little or a lot, just kind of make them work a little harder. And back to center. And go the other way. Send back to center and straighten on up. Bring the feet back to hip distance apart. Okay, so let's start to move through some modified sun salutations. So you may want blocks or books, something that you use as blocks. And in case anyone didn't hear my little explanation before, I don't know if explanation is the right word, but anyway, why that other stream got cut off, I got a message saying that it was detecting copyrighted audio or video. I have no idea why. And occasional glitches like that have happened other mornings, as I know Sharon can attest to. And so when that happens and it's just not letting me do the original stream, I'm just going to start a new one in my channel. And apparently that's fairly easy for you guys to find, or easy enough, because here you are. So anyway, just an explanation of why that got cut off. And I wasn't even playing music. I'm just baffled as to why that happened. But such is technology. Okay, so thank you for finding me again on this different stream. Whew, we're doing it. Okay, so we've got blocks handy if that's a thing you find helpful. All right, starting at the top of our mat. Let's inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Stay as long as you can until you need to round. All right, from this forward fold, let's step outward, left leg, way far back, bend the right knee a lot, okay? Keep the hands down on the floor, maybe fingertips or on blocks. Okay, we're gonna keep our chest nice and low to start, okay? Back leg is squeezing all the way straight. Let's take a little glide, front and back. So you might keep your front leg really bent. If you feel like getting a little more into that front hamstring, then you might take a little lift and extend of that leg. If you're feeling like, oh, I'm feeling tired, or not feeling like I can do much there, don't, keep it small. Okay, and then lower your back heel down. So you might need to scoot that back foot forward a bit, and that leg is going to turn out a little. So my toes are kind of pointing a little bit towards the camera over there. And let's lift our hands up and come to warrior two. So right arm pointing the way that right foot is pointing, and left arm back. Okay, right knee squeezing back just until you're feeling some work in that right glute. Good, but your right foot stays fully flat. So you might have enough, pull back here that your big toe edge could start to peel off the mat. We don't want that. We want just enough knee squeezing back to wake up the glute and keep that knee stable. All right, and then take the hands down to the floor or your blocks, and the left foot steps forwards. Okay, and the right leg goes back. Yeah, and a reminder, if you're using blocks, or if you have, any other prop you're filling in, chances are it's got different, heights that you could work it from. So remember to, make use of different heights when that's appropriate for you. All right, so first we're going to keep our chest nice and low, and the front knee really bent, just a little glide, front and back. Good, so when we stay low like this, we can get more stretch into the back leg, into that hip flexor, especially if we think of trying to squeeze that leg straighter and push the hips down, keep them low as we are pushing that heel back. Your body will probably kind of, resist that stretch. Unless you really mindfully say, no, we're going to squeeze and stay low. Okay, and then if you want, you could go for more of a stretch in that front hamstring and kind of lift and extend a bit. And I'm not even straightening my front leg. I don't need to. It's enough into my hamstring this morning, this moment, to not even force it all the way straight. So again, there's two different approaches. You can keep it more focused on the back leg, or you can get more into that front leg. It's your yoga. All right, so make sure this front knee is right over the front heel. All right, spin your back heel down. So that might come forwards a little bit. Good. Toes turn out a bit. Let's come up to Virabhadrasana 2. Good. And this knee is pressing back. But what we want to feel bringing it back is that left butt cheek. So just enough till we're feeling that left butt cheek. Be like, all right, woo, I feel that thigh bone coming in. Okay, now we're making sure that the inner edge, big toe edge of the left foot, is fully suctioned down. It should feel like those two motions oppose each other. That is exactly what we want. Often when we are stabilizing something in our body, we've got two different things going towards or away from each other, opposing motions. That is often how we're stabilizing stuff in our body. All right, take the hands down to the floor or your blocks. Step the right foot forwards and come to a forward fold. Good. And now we are going to inhale, lengthen that spine forwards. Good. Your hand can be on the floor here if you can still keep some length, or bring a prop forwards till it's right under that right shoulder. Move this so you can see what my legs are doing. Bend your left knee. Left knee is as straight as it can be, but does not necessarily need to be fully straight. Just, each leg's got a different goal right now. All right, both heels are down. Feet are flat though. So even though I'm bending my right knee very intentionally, I'm not lifting the heel. The heel can stay down. That left arm is going to move in some big circles, reaching out in front of you, up above you, behind, and down. And again, forwards, up, back, and down. This time just forwards and up. I'm going to hold the twist here. Okay. So I often find if I focus less on the turning of my neck, or at least that's what I've been kind of finding lately, if I kind of like untwist my neck a bit, I actually find a little more lift of my chest. Let's even take our left hand to heart center for a moment. Push the chest up into that hand. So kind of feel it rise up towards the ceiling a little more. Good. And then extend that left arm back up. All right, lower that left arm down. We're going to do that to the other side. So find some lift and length through the spine. Good. Support that with your hand on the floor, or bring the floor to you with a prop. Bend your left knee. So left knee is really trying to bend, but the heel stays down. Right knee's trying to get straight, as close as it can. Right arm moves in big circles, out in front, up to the ceiling, behind you, and down, and again, forwards, up, back, down. This time just forwards, up, hold the twist here. Let's bring our right hand to heart center, okay? And then heart center lifts up to the ceiling a little more. It's pressing into the hand, and then reach that right arm up again. And if it feels good to you, you totally could look up at that right hand with your gaze. For me personally, I've been finding putting a little less emphasis on the turning of the neck, I find I'm getting more lift of my chest. And I kind of prioritize it a bit differently lately. But this is your twist, not mine or anybody else's.
All right, let's bring that right hand down. Good. Let your upper body just fold forwards for a moment. Then let's inhale, come up to a long flat back. Let the knees bend if that's helpful. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to lengthen, then stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, little giveaway here. Ultimately, our next goal is to lie down on our back. So you can sun salutation your way down with me, or just do whatever it takes to get down on your belly. Belly, that's where we're going next. All right, inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward folds. From that forward fold, let's come to a downward dog. You can do a slow, controlled descent. All right. You're down on your belly. However you go. Let's press up onto our forearms into Sphinx. All right, if Sphinx is feeling like the right amount of back bend for you, feel free to stay with this a bit longer. Or we're going to do some, just kind of going in and out of Cobra. So bring your chest down and hands back a little behind the shoulders. Good. And let's inhale, slowly arch up. And exhale, gently lower it down. I'm going to do 2 more like that. Lifting up and lowering down, lifting up, lowering down. Now lift to a place where you can stay and breathe. Keep the arms bent because your back muscles are going to have to be more engaged. And it's also just a great little strengthening warm up for the arms. Okay? Or you can still be in Sphinx at this time. And let's lower our Cobra back, down. And let's make our way up to downward dog. Okay. If you're feeling like sitting back in child's pose for a moment before lifting up, you're welcome to detour there. Or you can just hinge on up and stretch. Right, and then from your downward dog, walk or hop your feet forwards. Let the knees bend as needed. So you can really get those feet under you and transfer the weight from hands and feet to just feet. And inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale to stand all the way up. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, I'm trying to face my camera here. I'm going to be your mirror. Let's stand on the right leg, your right leg. Grab that left knee, pull it up. Okay, and then take it out to the side and fold it into tree. Remember, you do have various height options with where you place that foot. Nice. Yogi's choice with your arms. Okay, so like our warrior 2, press that knee back till you're feeling, some sensation, some work in that left buttock.
Okay, and then you can stay in tree or do a little chair figure 4. So you bring that left ankle over that right thigh. It's probably going to be just above the knee, maybe a little higher. And then dropping down to a single leg chair. And then let's stand up, unhook that leg, bring it down, and say a little thank you to the standing leg. All right, and let's take that to the other side. You're gonna stand on your left leg, or whichever one you didn't do yet. Pull the knee up. Let's take it out to the side. Woo. And then fold that into tree. Whatever that shape is for you. A little heaviness into the top ridge of the hips here. And this knee squeezes back until you're like, okay, there's that buttock working. I can feel the glute pulling the knee back. Good, but at the same time, stabilizing the pelvis so it's not. And then option to take that into a figure 4 chair, or you are more than welcome to stay in tree until we come back to 2 feet. All right, and let's stand up. Ooh, unhook the leg. Thank you, standing leg. So you can kind of squish into the ball of the foot or give it a shake. Okay, and then I know what I want to do next. What way do I want to face you? Let me face this way. So when I go to my right, it's to the right of the camera. Okay, so step those feet nice and wide. Turn the right toes out all the way and left toes in a little bit to set up for warrior 2. And yes, you might put a prop inside or outside of the foot. I'm not going to be bossy about that part today. We're going to do triangle first, Trikonasana. So we're going to zip those legs up. We're going to glide our hips left, upper body right. Good, right hand coming down. Maybe it's to your prop. Maybe it's higher on the leg, or maybe you reach all the way to the floor with ease. All right, and then bend your right knee. Bring the left arm close to your head, close to your left ear. Side angle pose. Your right hand might stay down on your prop. The forearm might come up onto your thigh. Right. Use an inhale to come back up to warrior 2. Okay. Bring your hands to your hips. Step your left foot a little bit forwards, and by forwards, I mean the direction you're facing. So I'm facing this wall here. I'm going to step my left foot a little bit closer to the wall. Turn those toes in a bit more, if that's okay on my ankle. And I'm going to pivot this into a warrior 1. Okay. And when we're kind of front to back like this, you might need to scoot that left foot a little closer to the right foot to fully flatten. Okay. So let's start with both arms up in our Virabhadrasana 1. Okay, and then take hands. The hands can either clasp behind the back with interlaced fingers. Feel free to use a towel or strap if you like. Okay. So options here, you can stay upright and just focus on the shoulder stretch here. Clasping forearms behind the back. That might get a better peeling back motion of the shoulders. Okay, so that's an option you might do with your arms instead. Okay, so you might stay upright, or if you can keep this squeeze in your back and it feels good to you,
Maybe you come down to a humble warrior. So that's, I'm folding my chest down towards my right knee. And inhale to lift back up.
all right? And we're gonna switch over to our left side. Okay, so bring the prop with you if you're using one.
Okay, so let's come back to a parallel stance. Toes and heels are level with each other. Then turn your left foot out all the way. Right toes in a little bit. So aiming to have that left heel lined up with the arch of your right foot. Bend the left knee. Set your prop if desired. And then Trikonasana, straightening the left leg. Your hips shrunk to the left. You glide, or hips are going right. You glide your upper body out to the left. Left arm comes down wherever it easily goes. And right arm stacks over that. And then bend the left knee, side angle pose. Bring that left forearm up onto the thigh. Good. Or keep it down on its prop. Right arm comes close to the right ear. Inhale to lift up to warrior 2. Now we're gonna pivot this into a warrior 1. So we're gonna do usually often we pivot and then widen the stance. We're doing it the other way today. We're gonna widen our stance a bit. So now it's gonna be more like left heel to right heel, or they can be even wider than that. Okay, and then we're gonna turn to face that left leg. So those right toes are gonna be pointing a little more towards that left foot than they were before. Not straight forwards. Most ankles will not do that, and that is fine. All right, so then either an upright shoulder stretch. So if you're interlacing fingers or stacking forearms, try and put the other side on top or other hand in front of the interlacing. If you're not sure, do what feels a little weird. That's probably the side you didn't do the first time. So it's gonna be an upright shoulder stretch, or we can take this down to our humble warrior. Inhale to come up if you were folded forwards. All right.
So now turn back to center. All right. So you can, again, you can clasp forearms. You might bring your hands to your low back or to the backs of the thighs or fingers interlaced. So instead of folding forwards here, we're gonna do a little back bend. I'm gonna bring hands to my low back. All right, so like we set up for camel, pressing the hips forwards, lifting the chest. If it feels right to you, helpful, you can bring the hands to the backs of the thighs. They don't have to, they can stay on the low back. All right, then walk the hands back up to the low back. Roll that spine back forwards until you're all stacked. And then bring feet back together. Whew. I had to kind of get myself back upright before I could tell you how to come out. Okay, we're gonna come down to a tabletop on our hands and knees. So we want some padding for that. Right knees. So come on, down to this tabletop. Yeah. Let's take a few cat-cow here. Breathe in, arch and look up. Breathe out, round. Push the floor away. Alternate between those two shapes. At your own deliberate pace. All right. Come back to a long neutral spine. So it's just as long as it can be. It's not rounded or hollowed. Hover your right arm forwards and your left leg back. Okay, keep the right arm reaching forwards, bend your left knee, keeping that thigh as lifted as you can. And try not to, hike that left hip up. Good, but just keep level with the right. So just bending and lifting to start. Okay. You can keep your shape here, or try reaching back with that right hand and see if you find that left foot. Okay. If you do get a good solid grip on the foot, press the foot back into the hand. So really get some good tension between the foot and hand if you can. All right, and then let that go. Stretch your shape out and come back to all fours. All right, and then hover your left arm forwards, right leg back. And now don't reach for the foot yet, but bend the leg. Yes, you're pulling that foot towards you as much as you can. So part of hip opening is also hamstring strength. Okay? So often what's limiting stretch in one side is not so much stretch in the muscle we're stretching, but there's some strength lacking in the opposing muscle. All right, and then maybe that left hand reaches back for the right foot. And especially in moves like this, you know, that hamstring's got to bring that foot towards you or you're not going to grab it. So it's good to make sure that that strength of the opposing muscle is there. Or to note that maybe it's not there as much as we would like. And that is useful information as well. All right, release if you're holding on. Stretch it out. Bring it down. Let's sit back on the heels in child's pose.
All right, and then bring yourself to sitting with the legs out in front of you. Stretch them out. All right, so bend your right knee. Okay. And so I realize I've been telling you to step the foot over. You totally can, but of course, and we've twisted from this position before, you could just keep the right foot not crossed over. Feeling silly for not giving that option previous classes, but I know you guys will do what's right for you. Okay, so the right foot can stay, it can step over, your left leg can stay extended out, or it can bend in towards you. Ultimately, whatever you're doing with the legs, you want to have two sits bones still nice and firmly rooted down, like your easiest sitting position. All right, so wherever you're twisting from with those legs, inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to your right. Right arm comes down to the floor behind you. Left arm on top of that right thigh. And that arm on the thighs, helping you lengthen upwards and rotate the chest around. All right, and let's unwind our twist. Okay, we're gonna keep that right knee on top. Okay, so again, so now, again, do step that right foot over if it wasn't already. Your left leg might stay long. Ultimately, what we are trying to do here is stack our right knee on top of the left. Okay, so your left leg might stay straight out. It might fold in. Okay, so we're just kind of getting the stretch now more into those glutes, outer hips. Okay, so stacking the knees and sitting up tall, that might give you the best hip stretch. Okay, or stacking the knees and folding forwards might feel good to you. And let's untangle and reset the legs to twist the other direction. So right leg, start with the right leg forwards, wherever it may be going from there. Left can stay on the inside of the right leg. It can step to the outside. The right leg can fold in or not. Ideally, you're in the same shape you did on the first side. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist to your left. And arms are both helping you lengthen upwards as well as twist a little further. Unwind your twist. Stack the knees as best you can. Okay. So again, that bottom leg, that might be extended out. You might just sit as tall as you can, or you might put your back against a wall. So that can be great if you've got some wall space available. Just let the wall keep you nice and long for you. Or you might fold forwards. Okay. And let's want a couch cushion. A yoga bolster would kind of be the ideal thing to have if you have one, but plenty of options if you don't. And then you may also want some, like towels, little pillows, something under your thighs. Let me just show you what we're doing, and you'll figure it out. So your bolster, or in this instance, I'm going to use a couch cushion today. They are behind you. Okay, you're going to come into butterfly and really snug your butt right up against that cushion there. Okay, and then lie back over that. So it's a little trickier with the arms, and that's going to kind of depend on just how thick and wide a cushion you are working with. So the bolster, they could just kind of fall to the floor. Actually, I'm kind of finding they could just kind of fall to my side here, and that still feels pretty good. Yeah. Or they might kind of come to a little cactus arm thing overhead. Okay, if that feels good. If your back's not agreeing with this arch, not a problem. Just lie down without this. A note on the legs. Some legs don't like being in this shape, or they don't like it for very long. And if you have any means of propping the thighs up, that can make this shape more sustainable. We will be here for, let's say, 3 minutes. You could also do this with the legs not in butterfly. So instead of the knees open to the side, I'm going to actually time this for 3 minutes so that I can be accurate with that. So, you could be here and just have your knees bent, your feet flat. Okay, so you could leave the butterfly part out of you if that's not feeling good to your hips. If you do have, towels, any such, yoga blocks can work for this too. Just kind of depends on the type and what angle you've got them at. So yeah, often just, not really letting the legs hang, but giving them some support often feels a lot better. But again, the idea is really just to be cozy and breathing for a few minutes here. So feel free to adjust, change things as needed. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. So while you guys kind of lie down and get cozy, I'm going to keep my eyes on my computer here, just so if someone's got any questions, I'll be able to see them. Let's take a little restorative time for ourselves this morning. I'm gonna take one more minute here. Doesn't look like anyone's got any questions, so I'm gonna join you for the final minute here. All right. So if your legs are open in butterfly, bring the hands, the outsides of the thighs. Just gently pull the knees back up. Roll yourself over to one side. Good. So we kind of come up to sitting from a little sideways, lightly backwards motion. It's just a lot gentler on the body than trying to suddenly do a like big sit up to come up. All right, let's next lie down on our backs. Okay. You turn around this way. Make that easier. All right, once you're down on your back, a little bit of prop negotiation to do. Hug your knees into your chest. And then scoot your hips a little bit over to the left. Drop your knees to the right to twist. Your head and chest are to your left.
And unwind your twist. Take that to the other side. Hips take a little scoot right. The knees go to the left. Head and chest turn to your right. Unwind out of your twist. Pull the knees up to your chest. Even out the back. Set the feet down with the knees bent. Standing up for bridge pose. Lift the hips, arch your back up. Outer shoulders roll down into the mat. And gently come down. All right, and let's stretch out into our Shavasana. So especially after doing what may have been a fairly intense back bend in that supported reclining butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana, putting a little something under your knees, whether it's your couch cushion, maybe a rolled up blanket, can feel really nice to help balance that out. This is a nice thing to do, really, anytime you are doing Shavasana. All right, so stretch out into your final resting position, whatever that's going to be for you. Excuse me. All right, let's stretch out and take our resting pose. feel the movement of your breath. Stretch your arms up overhead, reaching back for the floor. Bend one knee at a time. Roll over onto your side. Let the knees slide up in front of you. And then use both hands for a nice, gentle lift up to sitting. Come to a comfortable seated position. Maybe nice and cushy on your couch cushion. Right. Bring the palms together at your heart. Let's close our practice by chanting one Om all together. First, exhale fully. Then a deep inhale. Thank you all so much for tuning in this morning. Or if you're watching this video after we've gone live, thank you for joining in again. It's not like this could only be done in the morning. All right, and thank you so much for finding the live stream take 2 when we were mysteriously cut off. Yeah, I mean, it's just something we may have to occasionally do because I don't know what caused it, so I don't know how to stop that from happening. But fortunately, it was pretty easy to just restart. Thank you, Sharon. Namaste to you as well. Yeah, feel free to reach out, or if you have any questions, such in the comments of this video. Yeah. I think most of you have my email and contact info. So, all right, hope to see you Wednesday. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. This is a tough time. So, yeah, be good to yourself.